right, what's good, man? Let's get into it. Let's talk about Detroit. What does Eminem say? Detroit, what? Detroit? And let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. Now, I don't know if those dirty ass Detroit Lions fans are on my channel still or not, but I don't know if they're Pistons fans or whatever the case may be, but the Detroit Pistons, man, it's crazy how just one season ago to this day, they were one of the worst teams in the league. The Detroit Pistons were the laughing stock. They were on like a 25-game losing streak last year. And look at them now. And I said this before and I said this again. I try to tell y'all 2 years ago, his rookie year, Cade Cunningham is that dude. I try to tell y'all, Cade Cunningham got that dog in him. He can cook. And people were like, last year, people were like RJ Waddy, or 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago? Because I remember last year he came off his ACL tear. The year before that, he had his ACL tear, and then the year before that, that was his rookie year. So 3 seasons ago, on my live streams or whatever the case may be, I try to tell you, Cade Cunningham is a hooper. He's a hooper. You feel me? Look at Cade Cunningham now. Look at him. He's an all-star. I'm about to look up the stats in a few minutes. And people last year like, oh, RJ, why do you like Cade Cunningham? I'm like, yo, listen, people. And I was telling people this at my job. I haven't said this on YouTube, whatever the case may be, but y'all got to realize, when an athlete tears an ACL, an MCL, whatever the case may be, you don't predict what he's gonna. You can't. How can I say this? You can't judge him on his season coming back. It's the next season, because when those players, when those players come back from their ACL tear, they got to get their footing under them. They have to get their footing under them. Look at Adrian Peterson when he tore his ACL. ACL tears take a year. It's a year process to recover physically and a year process to get your feet under you. And when he tore his ACL his second year, I'm like, okay, the year he's coming back, he might be a little rusty. He might not look the same because, he's going to be like, dang, I don't want to tear my ACL. He's going to be playing conservative. Now look at him this year. When someone tears the ACL, you have to give them a season when they return. You have to give them a season to get right, and then the next year, that's when you're like, okay, let's see what you got now. And look at Cade Cunningham. He's balling. He's one of the best guards in the league right now. And look at the Pistons. As I'm sitting here recording this, they're fifth in the East. They're fifth in the East. That is beyond. And bro, this was a team that was just in the lottery. That was second to last place in the East, right behind the Wizards. Them and the Wizards were one of the worst teams last year. Now look at them. They're the 5th seed right now and took a 2-game lead on the Bucks, who are going down because, Dame and Giannis are out, especially Dame. He's out for the rest of the year. And they're going to match up with the Pacers. And listen, look, I'm not going to sit here and pick the Pistons to beat the Pacers, but I'm just saying, upsets can happen. And the Pistons are not that, the Pacers are not that much better than the Pistons. I'm just saying. Now, granted, I might have to pick the Pacers because they have the experience. And once again, Detroit, they don't have experience. But I'm saying, bro, Detroit is on the rise. You see how the Rockets are. And I'm going to be making a video about the Rockets very soon. You see how the Rockets are now? Don't be shocked if the Pistons end up like OKC. Now, granted, the Celtics are still around. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, they're all in their physical primes and in their mental primes. But I'm just saying, Pistons could cook up next year. If they make the right moves in the draft, if they make the right moves in free agency, if Cade takes another step, who is it? Amen is on the Rockets. Asar is on the Pistons. If Asar takes another step, if they add some veteran leadership in there to teach them boys how to win, for example, like an Alex Caruso or who else? I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a veteran. A Kyle Lowry. Something along those lines. Someone who's, who's not, a CP3-ish type of thing. Even though I think, Kyle Lowry's probably going to stay with someone along those lines, like a veteran who's not going to, try to take their shine and is okay with their career and is willing to help these young boys out coming off the bench. Something along those lines. Because Alex Caruso won a championship. CP3's been around for years. Kyle Lowry won a championship. He's been around for years. Something along those lines. But the Detroit Pistons are cooking. So, it is what it is. Detroit, you got the Lions and you got the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Lucky y'all. It is what it is. That's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ out.